Welcome to HDPP Live on a Saturday night to the UK and around the world with photos, memories and friends. This is HDPP Live. How are you this evening? Are you all well?
Hinckley District past and present for you, meeting friends old and new. Streaming Wednesdays and Saturdays too, with founder members Paul and Sue. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Film clips, photos, memories and friends helps a dreary night go by. Wearing Hinckley's 6 of the best, stupendous quizzical high. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Let's take you back in time. A community affair. We'll take you for a ride. Henson's Cab will take you there. We're making history. HDPP, chat room applauses. History supporting local causes. Streaming HDPP live. Betty is our queen bee. The sweetest holy candy. Dangerous Den here again. HDPP live. Hey, you know we keep it in HDPP.
Here we go again. Good evening. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, wait, put me light on. Hang on, I'm coming. Ta-da! There we go. Good evening. Hello. Where have you been? I was just chatting earlier on with Pat and Ian, and we were saying, bit quiet in here tonight. And I was beginning to think you was all probably out sunning yourself or drowning your sorrows at the pub after the football. What a shame, what a shame. Never mind, the girls will do it one day, I'm absolutely sure of it. Welcome along once again to Hinckley District Past and Present Live on a Sunday evening. Now, tonight, for the very first time, Paul Gardner performing without a safety net. Yes, Mrs. G is not with me tonight. Sue is not with me tonight. She's with Queen Bee, as you will see in the chat room in a moment. So I'm here all on my own, and I've got everything all set up and stuff. But normally Sue is to the right of me, checking everything and all the rest of it. So I haven't got her support tonight, but I know it's there in spirit. So anyway, so on this Sunday evening, what have we got for you? All the regular features, including indeed 6 of the best, and we've also got a great nosy, and we'll also be looking at some more kids games tonight. I thought we'd do that as well. But first and foremost, as I always like to do, is give everybody a shout out that's in the chat room. It was all a bit empty, and then everybody all rushed in all at once. So Ian Roberts is here, Pat Galloway is here as well. Nice one, Pat. I hope you're well on the way to recovery as well. Daniel Colburn, hello Daniel. How are you this evening? Hope to find you well. Dr. Nooker, yes. John Fletcher's here as well. Nice to know that you're there, John. Anne Hunt, all the way from a sunny Whirl. Try saying that. However, nice to know that you're there, and one of our constant supporters of Hinckley District, past and present. I said here in my chat, as you can see, it's quiet, guys. I think everyone is in the pub drowning their sorrows after the footy. But then Kath Denny comes through. Oh, hello, she goes. Yeah, Mrs. Smugly, that is. Mrs. Smugly, which incidentally today, John, Kath, I bumped into your daughter today. And she says, you're that chap, ain't you? I said, well, I have been called worse than it. No, you're that chap, ain't you? HDPP. So, and I said, yes, I am sorry about that. And she said, sure, also John and Kath said, that's my mum and dad. So I didn't know that. Anyway, so I was with daughter today. Yeah, I told her, spill the beans. That's what I want to know next. So, yeah, we'll be meeting up soon, I'm sure. Hi, Mary Blake. Nice to know you're with us this evening. That's a good one. And Jeff and Anna in a lovely brig tonight. Yes, looking out, actually. It's a lovely sunny evening. And I was really thinking that some of you would probably be out there enjoying, the last of the sunshine, because it has been a nice day. Here's Jan Kirby, just got in as well. Well done, Jan. Seen you nattering on the corner of Bradgate Road and Leicester Road earlier. Yes, I went, I, and it was, ooh, no, too busy talking and watching the dog cock its leg. However, Kevin's here. Hi, Kevin. Hope you're coming on Wednesday. I hope a lot of you are coming Wednesday. Otherwise, I'm going to look very silly. Dangerous Den, of course, he's here again every time. Den, thanks for your help yesterday at the scanning session, because one was all on one's own, but you came along and gave me the moral support to be there, and we had a busy scanning session, didn't we? Yeah. And talking of John Denny, he says, I'm here, but I've gone again soon. Well, that sounds about right for Mr. Smugly. And the message is for Queen Bee, by the way. As I say, they are watching at Queen Bee's house tonight. So John saying, hello, Sue, Betty, hope Sue's looking after you. Yes. There we go. Plenty going on. Carol B's it now. Carol's here. Dennis, we were talking about Carol yesterday now, wasn't we? We were. She says, sorry I'm late. Evening all. Love and best wishes to our Queen Bee. That's good. Your sister Jane came in to see us. Yes. And she didn't know that you was a leather biker chick. So we said, have you by chance got any pictures of your sister in She didn't know, bless her. However, she's promised to come on Wednesday night, Carol, so bring her along, okay? Lovely. And she gave us a lovely hug as well, by the way. Good evening also to Dave S., who's with us. Wishing everybody a good evening as well. Pat Galloway doing pretty well. He said he gets his operation on hopefully my operation on Thursday will sort him out. Hope that does as well. Yes. Kath Dennis says, me and Mr. Smugly are there Wednesday night. That name has stuck, hasn't it? It really has stuck as well. Clive Armstrong's here, along with, as I said, chatting here now. Note to do with me, Carol says Dennis Perkins. It was the first question he asked. Anyway, that's all the chatting done. As I say, welcome to the programme. If you're a new viewer, and indeed all our regular viewers, please remember, as it says there on the screen, remember to like. Please like, because Mrs. G adds them all up at the end of the day, and she tells me how well I've done or not. Talking about Wednesday night, our social night, it's people and events that define Hinckley in the Civil War. Our guest speaker is Tony York. Tony, very well versed on this sort of thing, and he's going to link some of the local personalities of the time and how they were affected by the Civil War. All happening Wednesday, August the 23rd, 7:30. Please come along, because I need your support, Yes, don't just bring us your old corsets and trusses. I need your support. Please come along. It'll be a nice little evening. And as I say, and by the way, I don't know how the heck we're going to do the raffle. I shall just bring a box full of stuff. Because normally Normally, Mrs. G sorts all that out, so I'll just bring the whole lot and put them in a box. There we go. Yeah. So that's what's happening on Wednesday night. So please come along, and it's not too long before we'll be looking into. Well, I've got a blank screen there. I'm clicking things, and things weren't there. You see. However. Visit to the museum is always much welcome by the staff of the museum. They're open on Saturdays and Mondays, so it's open tomorrow. It's is it Roman? I think it's Roman Day. Is it Roman Day tomorrow? Anyway, I know that they've opened tomorrow. Go along because they've had the wash days. It's the Tudor. I think it might be the Tudors tomorrow, actually. Go along to the museum. They would love to see you indeed. Okay, now then, are you all ready for 6 years of the best years? Jan Kirby, by the way, always off on a meeting. Yes. Anyway. We'll move on. Let's do 6 of the best. Now remember, with 6 of the best, do not put your answers in the chat room before time because people nick them. People nick your answers, and then before you know where you are, you've been fleeced and beaten to the winning post. So don't do that. Okay, Jan Kirby just confirming. It's the museum. It's the Tudors at the museum. Good. Okay. Oh, Jane Brown's here. We can start now. Cooey from Tim and Jane. Lovely. Right. Okay, here we go. 6 of the best. We go testing the best of some of your local general knowledge and other ones. Now then, Jeff Wallace can't probably do these. I don't know. Well, let's see how we go. Anyway, let's start with 6 of the best on this Sunday evening, live from Hinckley. Here's question number 1. I want you to name the only airport in the UK, if not the world, that is served by a steam railway. Ooh, sharp intake of breath, Paul. That's a bit of a killer. I'm just wondering, will you know? I know that Jeff will know that one, because he told me. And I thought, that's a damn good question. Name the only airport. Oh, now Mr. Smuggley's doing with that one. Name the only airport in the UK, if not the world, that is served by a steam railway. That's got you thinking. And please try and do it without Google. Carol Beasley, I've got no idea. That's all right. I'm sure there's some of these you're going to know, Carol. Okay then. This is our general knowledge question for tonight. Which American flew a kite in a thunderstorm to prove lightning was electricity? What was his name? You will have heard his name. It's one of those. You would have heard his name. So which American flew a kite in a thunderstorm to prove lightning was electricity? I wonder if he survived, actually. Who knows? Who knows? Moving on. Question number 3. True or false? A cross between a horse and a zebra is called a hobra. Is that true? Is it false? These are good questions tonight, Paul. Well done. Yeah, I thought so too, yeah. Question number 4. This is Guess the Year. So this is the year we're trying to find. The year that take that, go their separate ways and split. Singer Eva Cassidy sadly dies of cancer this year, and Prince Charles and Princess Diana divorce. Alan Shearer becomes the world's most expensive footballer after being sold to Newcastle United for £15 million. Really? Yeah. So, but what was the year? I can hear tapping on keyboards. People looking for Google. Don't. You get the extra warmth and snugness of knowing that you did it without going onto Google. Okay. Question number 5. Where am I? That's interesting, huh? I've left a couple of little clues in. Hope you find them. Where am I? I am in Hinckley, but where am I? Here, Mr. Smuggley now going, oh. And question number 6. It's the anagram question. A lovely one too. I'll leave it on the screen. It's David Blower in tonight. I think he's fell asleep on the poop deck. Okay, the anagram question. Flying like a lavender. Now, I've got to leave it on the screen a few moments because Mrs. G will want to get all those letters scribbled down. So, flying like a lavender. The clue I'm going to give you, because it's local, but the clue is, we don't do this anymore. You will find out why in a bit. And I think probably Jeff Wallace may have an inkling on this, Jeff, because you did inspire me the other day with another thing. So I'm going to have to ban you from this one. Flying like a lavender. Rearrange that. Just rearrange those words and see what you come up with. It's got a Q in. Yeah, I know. But the clue is, we don't do this anymore. I'll give you another clue a bit later on if you need one, okay? So we'll go through it one more time very quickly before our first feature this evening. Name the only airport in the UK, if not the world, that is served by a steam railway. That'd be fun. Question 2. Which American flew a kite in the thunderstorm to prove that lightning was electricity? Shocking, really. Question 3. True or false? A cross between a horse and a zebra is called a hobra. Question 4. Guess the year. Take that, go their separate ways and split. Sadly, Eva Cassidy dies of cancer. And Prince Charles and Princess Diana divorce. Alan Shearer becomes the most expensive footballer after being sold for £50 million to Newcastle United. Question 5. Now, where in Hinckley? I'm in Hinckley this week. But where am I? You can easily walk by this without really noticing. Where am I? And the Aniogram question. Yep, there it is. Flying like a lavender. Rearrange that and it'll give you the name of a place and where it is. And my clue is, we don't do this anymore. At one time a day, we used to do a lot of it, but not now. Has that got you puzzled? Hopefully it has done. So there we go. There is your 6 of the best this evening. We'll come back to it. We'll go through the questions one more time in between the 2 features tonight. Later on, we have our Nosy, one of Steve Picker's greatest hits tonight. Yeah. And we've also got our feature this evening. I got looking at, we've done things like this before, but I've cobbled together some videos for you, which runs for about 15 minutes, this is. And I'm always fascinated, I used to always be fascinated with the old playground games and rhymes and songs. We all sang The Big Ship Sails and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, there's a hell of a lot of culture and history and heritage there from up and down the country. So I went onto YouTube trying to find something I thought that would reflect this. Now, you'll have to excuse the sound a bit because the sound's a bit up and down. I'm going to try and master it from this end as it's going out live. So see what you think to this. We've got skipping songs, we've got marbles. You couldn't beat a good old game of marbles. Well, look, I won't give it away. Sit back and enjoy some happy childhood memories.
One, two, three, O'Leary, 4, 5, 6, O'Leary, 7, 8, 9, O'Leary, 10, O'Leary, over. 1, 2, 3, O'Leary, 4, 5, 6, O'Leary, 7, 8, 9, O'Leary, 10, O'Leary, over.
Plainsy, clapsy, twirl the wheel to backsy. First your heel and then your knee, then your toe and under you go. Plainsy, clapsy, twirl the wheel to backsy. First your heel and then your knee, then your toe and under you go. Plainsy, clapsy, twirl the wheel to backsy. First your heel, then your knee, then your toe and under you go. Plainsy, clapsy, twirl the wheel to backsy. First your heel, then your knee, then your toe and under you go.
Clapping games are the big recent success story of the playground and have exploded in popularity since the 1960s. The earliest clapping game in Europe, still well known today, was probably the adult and child game Pat a Cake, Pat a Cake, which was first documented, according to the Opie's, in 1698. Child with child clapping games aren't documented till the 1820s, when they were noted in France. References to them in Britain don't crop up till the late 19th century. Even then, evidence of clapping is patchy up to World War I and almost non-existent from then until the 1960s, when clapping games really took off among children, mainly girls. While the Pat a Cake style clapping is still popular, there's a growing repertoire of clapping moves and more complicated routines of body percussion, some involving 12 or more beats before repeating. Many of the most popular ones are sung to the same tune, the one used for A Sailor Went to CCC and I Went to a Chinese Restaurant. Some come from counting out rhymes like eeny, meeny, decimini, or previously did duty for ball bouncing or skipping like My Boyfriend Gave Me an Apple. Some come from pop songs such as That's the Way I Like It by KC and the Sunshine Bands, 1975. Others were already circulating as rhymes and were picked up in pop songs, which in turn made them even more popular, like the clapping song recorded by Shirley Ellis in 1965 and began 369, the goose drank wine, the monkey chewed tobacco on the streetcar line. Like this song, many found in the UK have come over from America, especially from African American traditions and popular musics. The content of the words is often humorous and off the wall. Nonsense words, which are just fun to say, are common, and there are sometimes mild sexual innuendos, like when Susie was a teenager she was, and she went, ooh, ah, I've lost my bra, left my knickers in my boyfriend's car, and my name is Britney Spears, I'm a movie star, I've got the curly whirly knickers and the see-through bra. Part of the appeal of clapping games is often the challenge of chanting or singing while performing these difficult rhythms and synchronizing movements with other people, especially at the extraordinary speeds many children achieve. Some clapping routines are seen as easier and others harder. Sailor Went to CCC is often seen as a beginner's rhyme, though even here there are variations in how hard the accompanying clapping pattern can be. For instance, whether the clapping echoes the triple repetition of the line endings, CCC, chop chop chop, knee knee knee. Other games like high-low jackalow or double-double this may be seen as harder. These games are a link with the past, with the cultures of their parents and grandparents, though this is unlikely to be of particular interest to the children who play them, who often claim they've just made them up.
In the valley where the green grass grows, where Lady Glee, she grows like a rose, she grows, she grows, she grows so sweet that she calls for a lover at the end of the street. Sweetheart, sweetheart, will you marry me? Yes, love, at 3:30. Ice cakes, spice cakes, all for tea, and we'll have a wedding at 3:30. Pom, pom, here comes the taxicab, pom, pom, here comes the taxicab, pom, pom, here comes the taxicab, ready for the wedding at 3:30.
60s child. Hello, in this video we are going to take a look at everything about the wonderful 60s girls.
Oh my goodness.
In the 1960s, boys played with boys and girls played with girls. That doesn't mean we didn't play together sometimes, but generally girls played with girls and boys played with boys. And our toys were very different. See, girls liked to wear adult shoes and push prams. They played with dolls like Barbie and Cindy. Both these dolls had a massive range of accessories and clothes to dress them in. And they had boyfriends. Barbie had Ken and Cindy had Paul. Barbie even had her own pick and mix set. There were kissing dolls, sleeping dolls, Tiny Tears who cried and wet herself, and a teeny weeny Tiny Tears. And there were hundreds to choose from. Some were really creepy. Dolls that danced, dolls that tumbled, and dolls that talked.
Oh, Teddy Cathy, at the Overtell's famous talking dolls. We pull the rings and you say 11 different things. Let's play house. Please change my dress. We can change your dresses now, goodness knows. Now you've got a wardrobe full of pretty clothes.
There were dolls whose hair grew, and the now iconic walkie-talkie dolls. You pulled the string at the back and they talk.
I do love you, Mummy. Please tell me a fairy story.
And with a little help they could walk as well.
Am I a good girl, Mummy?
There were tiny babies like this one, no bigger than an inch. There were ugly trolls, monkey dolls, and the now frowned upon golly doll. Whatever your thoughts on this little fella, we'll leave for another day, but he was truly loved by a lot of children. He appeared in the Noddy stories. He was the mascot of Robertson's Jams. You could save up the tokens off the jars, send away for your badges, or even ceramic figures. And to 60s kids, he was just golly. Girls had their own comics. A girl in names like Judah, Hunter, Diana, Jackie, Girl, and the comic strips were suitably girly as well. But there were action-loving girls as well, like Emma Peel in The Avengers. Jerry Anderson portrayed women more in leading roles like Lady Penelope in Thunderbirds and top scientist Dr. Venus in 5XL5. You had Marina in Stingray and the fabulous Angels from Captain Scarlet, who flew in these amazing crafts. They had paper dolls they could cut out and play with. And what girl didn't love to play with fuzzy felt? In fact, I must admit, as a young boy, I remember playing with this stuff myself at school. Today we'd say this is stereotyping, but girls' toys were, well, just girly. Even the girl on the TV screen had a cuddly toy. A lot of girls' toys back then did involve imitating domestic chores that mummy would do. Or seem to encourage girls to go in a certain profession like caring or nursing. Even the board games for teenagers suggested this. As I stated at the beginning of this video, boys and girls did play certain things together, like post office sets and shops and Etch-a-Sketch. But on the whole, this one, Spyro, to me was a girls thing, not boys. Now Lego, girls seemed to build houses and hospitals and boys wanted to build tanks and cars. Yes, a lot of girls' toys tended to be about dressing up and makeup, etc, etc. And at school, girls acted very differently in the playground to boys.
Easy, I
Run in January, February, March, April, May. Teddy bears, go upstairs. Teddy bears, say your prayers. Teddy bears, switch off the lights. Teddy bears, say good night.
1, 2, 3, O'Leary, 4, 5, 6, O'Leary, 7, 8, 9, O'Leary, 10, O'Leary, over. 1, 2, 3, O'Leary, 4, 5, 6, O'Leary, 7, 8, 9, O'Leary, 10, O'Leary, over.
Plain see, clap see, twirl the wheel to back see. First your heel and then your knee, then your toe and under you go. Plain see, clap see, twirl the wheel to back see.
They played games like hopscotch, stood on their hands against the walls, played jacks, and with these little fellas, they played Chinese skipping, remember that? They had roller skates, and they made a ball out of elastic bands for some reason. They'd make these any opportunity they got, and then they'd wear them on the head or around the wrist. Girls used to make these mysterious future-telling contraptions, and after asking you a few questions and making strange movements with the hands, it'd tell you how many kids you're going to have or something. Yes, a gang of girls to a 60s boy could be a really frightening experience. Especially when they gave you that stare. Well, I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into the world of a 60s girl. And bear in mind that it is from the perspective of a 60s boy. If anyone feels offended or upset by what I've said or the content of this, remember this video is just celebrating 60s girls. It is not a political statement. Well, that's it. Subscribe if you like, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.
And there we go, you see. What do you think to that? And some memories being recorded there in the chat room as well. John Kirby says, my favourite toys were a train set, roller skates and my three-wheeler bike with a boot at the back. She was posh. She was posh. Said, then my two-wheeler, which I fell over the handlebars and broke my nose and had stitches. Oh, well, we have to learn. And Anne Hunt said, I had a three-wheeler with a boot, Jan. Yeah, you see... We had the cut down version. We couldn't afford the boot, but remember you could sort of scoot them from the back. I used to have a plate at the back which your brother was supposed to sit on, but no, we used to use them as scoot. Brilliant memories, said Pat Galloway, and bring back some of those old games. And it's true. I mean, I know things have changed, obviously, but I remember the girls always, with the ball, and bouncing it up the wall and singing the songs, and remember they Queenie O, and all that sort of thing. And of course, you don't really see that, and it's lovely to see that sometimes these things do still appear in the playground, like the odd skipping rope here and there. But my sister used to play for hours, bouncing the ball up the wall with all these rhymes and twirling around, clapping and somersaults and all sorts, and then catch the ball, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. And I think, so I'm always fascinated with these rhymes and stuff. In fact, I must be honest, I thought there was a marble clip in there. I obviously missed that, but we've got some video of some lads playing marbles, and now they're just finding a bit of a dust bowl out in the local wrecker, playing marbles. Great fun, yeah. It was real good fun. And Alan Kropp says, I can't remember any of these. Alan, maybe they weren't invented. I don't know then. Anyway, while that was going on, yes, Mr. Blower woke up from the poop deck, and he's ready for Six of the Best. So let's first go over Six of the Best one more time, and then we'll carry on. I'll have a little bit of news for you, a little bit of an update. So, always click the wrong thing again. There we go. Right, here we go with Six of the Best. Okay, now then, question number 1. Name the only airport in the UK, if not the world, that is served by a steam railway. I do have to credit Jeff Wallace for that one. I thought, that's a good one. Let's see how my friends in HDPP land can come up with that one. See if you can find that out without using Google, though. You get extra smugness point. Talking of smugness, haven't heard anything from Mr. Smuggler yet. I know he'd got a nip out and then come back again, but I don't think there's much smugness going on at the moment. We'll find out shortly. Question number 2. Which American flew a kite in a thunderstorm to prove lightning was electricity? And shocking too. So, that is question number 2. Question number 3. A cross between a horse and a zebra is called a hobra. True or false? That's all we're asking. We're trying to ask you to find out without using Google or any other aid like that. Question number 4, we're trying to guess the year here. So what was the year that Take That go their separate ways and split? Sadly, Eva Cassidy dies of cancer. Prince Charles and Princess Diana divorce, and Alan Shearer becomes the world's most expensive footballer after being sold to Newcastle United for £15 million. Where in Hinckley am I? I am in Hinckley, but where am I? Where am I? We'll show you the full picture a little bit later on, but where am I? Somewhere in Hinckley. You could go right by this place and not realise it was there. That's all I shall say. Okay, good. Right, and finally, the aniogram. Right, here we go. Flying lacquer lavender Okay, flying lacquer lavender. I'm just leaving it on the screen so David can get all the letters down. Now, this used to be very, very popular, for 30, 40 years at least, probably a bit more, but we don't do it anymore. Let's put it that way. We don't do this anymore here in Hinckley. We used to do it a lot, but we don't do it anymore. That's all I can say. And what we're looking for, the name of a place and where it is. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's the name of a place and where it is. And we don't do this anymore. I can't be much fairer than that, really, without giving it away. And I don't want to give it away because I've got to be strict with myself. There we go. So that's where we're to with that. How is everybody doing on the aniogram? Has anybody got the aniogram yet that's allowed to play that's allowed to play? Let's have a look. I'll just see if anybody's getting any how people doing with it. I'm just looking in the chat room here, as you can see. Yeah, see, Jeff said, Paul, question 1 should be British Isles. Well, British Isles, yeah, same difference though, mate. But I know what you're saying, but it makes no difference to the answer, but you're right. Jan Kirby says no. Right, well, we just sort out before we go for a nosy this evening. You may have seen us last week when we were talking about, and I said, HDPP, I'm going to launch a campaign to do with Marjorie Payne. And Marjorie Payne is the lady that donated Argent's Mead, basically the field that's Argent's Mead, to the town for everybody to enjoy forever. And I said, what a fantastic contribution that was to the town, and that we should really, I think, now is the time to get Marjorie, her name back into the public eye so future generations know who Marjorie was. She was the daughter of William Payne, who had a very successful hosiery business in Upper Bond Street. She had no brothers and sisters, so she was an only child. And she did so much for Hinckley. For example, fundraising for the local for the war memorial in the town. She donated lots of money, over £5,000. Then, not this day, that was back then. So Hinckley could send a tank to the war effort. She left loads in her will for local good causes, which I will publicise all this later. Anyway, so what I did. I've been in touch with the council, and I said, "Oi, now then," and I told them about Marjorie, and of course they're all youngsters. Bless them, they don't know about her, right? In that effect, but the good news is that I have been in touch with the council. They were very interested with what I told them, and that they want to formulate some plans, indeed, to recognise the generous gift from Marjorie Payne to the town, etc., etc. So it's early news, but the council liked the idea. They said they've got some ideas as well. We will have a meet up, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I want everyone to know this is HDPP's idea. We want to do this, and we're going to do it. And I will keep you updated, as time goes on and when I get these updates. But like I say, and it's not their fault that they don't know who Marjorie was, because these people, like a lot of us, weren't about when Marjorie made this fantastic donation. There's only, a handful of people who will remember it. So Marjorie Payne, you're going to be hearing a lot more about Marjorie. Hopefully we'll be able to get a plaque or some marker in Argent's Mead for people to know. The reason that you can enjoy this open space is because of this lady here. And then, as I say, what I would also like to do is put a small metal information plate in the family plot in Hinckley Cemetery. So people can go, and when they see it, the lady that lies here, contributed this to the town. If you've seen John Boltby Brooks's headstone, by the way, in Hinckley Cemetery, it's pretty well, as soon as you go in the cemetery, straight through the archway, John Boltby Brooks is just there on the left-hand side. And Greg and the local society put a lovely metal information plate standing up there, the inventor of the sprung bicycle saddle. And that's the sort of thing I want to do for Marjorie. And I know that you all, I know you'll support me on this, and I do feel very, very passionate about it. And I will keep you updated. But the wheels have started to turn. They might turn slowly, but it's going to happen because I'm going to make sure it happens, because I won't rest until it's happened. Anyway, good, lovely. There we go. Well, I'm going to move on now. So how are you with Six of the Best? Some people, I think people are probably struggling tonight. Yeah? Is it the aniogram? Yeah? Maybe you want to take a bit of a clue from Jeff Wallace, who said, Paul, question one should be British Isles. Okay, British Isles, UK, but it makes no difference to me as far as I'm concerned. It's the same answer. And the anagram. You know, the anagram's a good one too. I'll try and think of another clue if you're struggling with that. Mrs. Smugley says, we went up to the music in the Mead on Saturday afternoon, a fantastic afternoon, you see, right in the town centre. Thank you, Marjorie Payne. You see, I want everyone to know about Marjorie. I'm really feeling, got the bit between my teeth, and I won't drop it, you know what I mean? A bit like an old other dog with an old bone. Well, Jan says, I've got no idea. Now then, but as I say, the anagram, we don't do it anymore. Used to be very, very popular. 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. There always seemed to be something in the newspaper about this particular thing that we're after. And the anagram itself, like I say, you're looking for the name of a place, a name of a place and where it is. But it is relevant. It's relevant to Hinckley. Okay? But we don't do it anymore. I think Jeff knows, but he's keeping stuck about that one too. Okay, good. So while you're doing that, I just don't think anyone's going to get 6 tonight. I should be very surprised if anybody gets 6 tonight. Right, okay, enough of this. Just a reminder, if you just come in, a reminder about Wednesday night, our Civil War, I've called it Civil War night, but it's not. If you can make it, we know Jan's going to an AGM. Yes, we know. But everybody else come along. This is going to be a super little night. Please come along. It's free admission. We'll have a raffle of some description, whatever I can find upstairs, because Mrs. G is not here. Anyway, there you go. Wednesday night. Tony York and the people in events that defined Hinckley in the Civil War. Please come along, otherwise I'm going to look very silly. They're all on my own listening to Tony, and I don't want to do that really. I'd much rather have some company around me. Okay, lovely. Jan Kirby saying, don't miss me too much. Lovely. Okay, it is time for a nosy. Now then, Steve's been away on holiday. He's been doing mini nosies up round and about where he's been away. So while he's been doing that, I decided we're going to the nosy archive and find one of his greatest noses, you know. And there's lots of great little noses that Steve's done. Tonight's no exception, but this time he's in the pub.
Hello, hey up and how you diddling? My name is Steve, this is Indy Andy Jones, this is Delighted Dave, and who are you?
Rare Rob.
This is Rare Rob, right then.
The Four Musketeers.
The Four Musketeers. Right then, so for today's video, and by the way, this is the first time in 5 months that we've all been together at the same time. I'm quite excited about that. It's nice to have the lads back out again. The full squadron, that's what we like here at Let's Explore. Right then, so we're in Whitwick in northwest Leicestershire. Now see this building here? Very interesting place this is. Now the front of it here is now Whitwick Massage Centre. Now, this used to be the Joiners Arms, a very, very old public house. Now, in 1882, when they brought the Charmond Forest Railway through Whitwick, the camera is actually in front of what remains of Whitwick Station, which is now Whitwick Historical Group. Fantastic place. We've just been in there and seen Maureen. Hello, Maureen,
Hello,
if you're
Maureen.
watching. If you're watching. So, what they did, in 1882, the Charmond Forest Railway, they extended this up 15 feet, this building. They had to extend the actual road out here up 15 feet so they could accommodate for the railway going beneath the new road level, if that makes sense. But under this building here, there's some really interesting old cellars, isn't there, Andy Jones?
Yes, very interesting.
Absolutely fantastic. So without any further ado, let's stop jibber-jabbering about it and go and take you beneath the streets of Whitwick. It's going to be a good one today, this, isn't it?
Let's go and get stuck in his hole.
Yeah, eh? Don't start
Let's
saying
get
things,
down
hey? Well, let's get down there, come on. We'll see you in a minute. Right, so just before we get into the video today, here's a fantastic scene. Now, I think this is the early 1900s. It might be the late 1800s, but I'd imagine it's more the early 1900s. It doesn't matter. It's a fantastic photograph. And as you can see there is the Railway Hotel behind that first group of people. Just to the right of that first group, that is just about all you can make out of the railway station in Whitwick. But yeah, this is a beautiful photograph. Right then, so the other three amigos, they've abandoned me up here. They couldn't wait to get down the old cellar there at the Railway Hotel. So we'll go down this one first. The next part of it that we'll be looking at is in Mick's flat. We really appreciate the fact that he's going to let us go in there today as well, bless him. But we'll head on down here and see what's going on. Let's do it. Right, so let's head on down this cellar then. And what's very interesting here is you've got these steps in the centre here, as you can see, what you'd expect. Then either side, you've got these two ramps here, look. So I'm presuming then that is where they used to chuck the barrels down into there, which is interesting. It's a shame that there ain't no barrels down there today, but you never know, there might be. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right, let's get in here. It's actually a little bit awkward here, because I'm tall. God knows how rare Rob did it. Right. So here we are. So it's an amazing structure, this, and you know, we're quite certain that because the railway, of course, they extended this building upwards to make it the Railway Hotel, and it started out life as the Carpenter's Arms. We're not actually sure how old the original foundations are here, but I mean, of course, as you can see here, we've got red engineering brickwork here, there and everywhere. But mixed in, we've got really old stonework. I mean, just look at this here. There's a bit of plaster gone over the top of it in recent years, by the looks of it. In fact, somebody called Graham actually scratched that in there in '88. So that's how old it is. But yeah, so we think, obviously, this is all original here, this stonework. Maybe from the 1600s, I've been told. I'm not sure about that, but for me, it's very old, as you can see. Right then, so it's quite clear that this building, it's undergone substantial renovation in the past. Obviously, from 1882, when they brought the railway through. Now, we're not 100% certain what's going on here. I mean, Andy's got some brilliant theories as to what's going on, and I'm not going to go against him because he's more knowledgeable about stuff like this than I am, in all honesty. But possibly where I'm standing now, not being certain or anything, this could have been original pub level. So people could have actually, had a pint in here. I'm not certain about that, but I tell you what, I absolutely love the fact that, people could have been stood, leaning up against this wall back in the day with a real ale. Of course, Andy Jones, he'll say I don't drink real ale, which I don't. I drink Panda Pops, do you know what I'm saying? But it's clearly a fascinating building, this. It really is. So many historical levels going on here. And for me, being a 10-minute drive from my house, absolutely spot on.
It's obvious all these shelvings were put in when it was the Railway Hotel, because it's the red brick, and drop the barrels down the drop, put them on the shelf and let them settle, and then tilt, and then there would have been pipes going up to the pub somewhere, but I can't see the route of the pipes. That's what all these are for putting barrels of real ale on. Proper man's beer, not the rubbish you drink.
Now that weren't very nice of him, was it? Hey, I've just given him the floor and he takes the mick out of me.
I drink proper beer.
Thank you, I'll have my microphone back now. Tell you what, this is a good little feature as well down here, because I've just walked down the steps that used to take you up to the pub. Now these would have been put in by the railway company, I'm pretty sure of that, to take you up to the railway hotel, I'm pretty certain. So let me just show you these anyway, because I like little quirks like that, do you know what I mean? Right, so many a pub landlord and landlady have taken this walk in the past. Look at this, look. I love these details, I do. Now, unfortunately, there isn't a pub up there anymore, which is a shame, because me and Andy Jones could fancy a pint, couldn't we, buddy?
You did tell me you were taking me to a pub today. You never said it was this.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I do apologise. But as you can see, there's now a floor there stopping you getting up, because these are now flats, of course, which I find quite... I like that, because, you know, it was the railway hotel, and then it became a block of flats. Right then, so we're done down the first part here anyway. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go into Mick's flat, which is in there, and go down another set of stairs. And it's very interesting in there. I actually went in there last Saturday, but I wasn't very happy with the video I made, to be honest. So we'll go down there and we'll have a good old nose there. Come on. I tell you what, I really like this, you know. I mean, just look at this, eh? Beautiful old vaulted ceiling here. Now, pretty confident that you know, this vaulted ceiling was put in around about 1882 when the railway company extended this building upwards. But I mean, of course, here, you know, all this old stonework here. Not so sure about that there, but you know, either side here, you know, this is very, very old stonework, original stonework for me. And you know, to think the times that I've driven up the road out here, past this building, you know, and I didn't really know anything about its history or nothing, and you know, now we're stood in here making a video for you all to see. But you know, maybe this wall, this back wall here, is very old. I mean, just look at these here. This is granite. This is, you know, it's absolutely rock solid as well. Fantastic. And there's something else that's actually quite interesting behind the camera that I want to show you as well. Right, so this here, this is very interesting as well. I'm going to show you inside here in a minute. But what this is, just the other side of this wall, it looks like a big water tank for something. And it's bamboozled us a little bit. I'm hoping that someone's going to watch this video and tell us what it is. I'll show you inside in a minute. But just up here, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, there's two drain pipes there, really old clay 4-inch pipes. And I think the yard gullies that are coming in. But I was told, and we can confirm this now, that part of this building at some point, I'm not sure on the dates, was used as a butchery. Now, I'm going to show you a floor in there in a minute, because I was told that they were washing blood and God knows what out into the Grey Stew Brook through two small holes in the brickwork. I'll show you them in a bit. But I've just had Andy Jones in here, you know, to see if he could figure out what this was. And, you know, we both couldn't work it out. And he did say, I can't see it as being used as like a boiling bath, if you like, where they'd bring chickens down here to put them in there to get the feathers off and what have you. He says, because, you know, this area would be just full of steam. You wouldn't be able to see what you were doing. Surely doing a job like that, you'd be doing it upstairs. So not really sure what's going on, but I'll show you in it anyway. Right, so whatever this is, it is quite intriguing, to be honest with you, and we really can't work it out. Is it some sort of sump where they could have pumped water up at some point. But then you think, well, why would they do that? There's a brook next door. Is it part of an old well? But again, I think this is above the water level. Having said that, you know, this could have gone much further down once. We really do not know. But whatever's going on, there's an outlet pipe there. That's acting like an overflow in your bath. You know what I mean? When you fill that up too much, so the water can escape. So you know what's going on in here. I really don't know what this is used for. It's very intriguing though. And as you can see there's a lot of really old milk bottles there. Look. So, but yeah, what this was used for, I haven't got a clue. But I'll tell you something. This, without any shadow of a doubt, is a fascinating building, and parts of it are extremely old. Now, whether these are 17th century walls that you're looking at now, the old stonework parts, I'm not sure. This red engineering brickwork, I think, is 1882, when the railway took over here and built the railway hotel. I tell you what, lads, we couldn't come into a pub and not have a drink, could we? Hey, up here they all are, look. Hey, what do you reckon to this then, Dave?
Hey, they all are.
Hey, they all are.
Hey, they all are.
I like what they've done with the decor in here anyway.
It's excellent, isn't
Amazing. Well, I tell you what, these bottles that we've got, I'm going to show you them when we go outside. Dave dug these up many years ago, didn't you?
Yep.
And these are from the 1840s, these bottles. Now, the thing is, we didn't know Rob was coming today, so show them. He's got an 1840s Capri Sun, 99p from the co-op. Yeah, amazing.
So
amazing place.
we thought we'd have a drink in the Joiners Arms.
Yeah.
In the bottles of the era. You know, because we're possibly the last people to have a drink in the Joiners Arms.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, you know, like I say, we're not sure what's going on here. It's bamboozled even Indy Andy Jones. Dr. Jones don't even know. If he don't know, we've got no hope away. But, you know, it's quite clear, these stone walls, these are original, whatever's going on. We're not convinced now that the floor we're standing on is original. We think it was much deeper at some point and the railway company built it up, don't we?
Yeah.
That's what we think. But whatever, you know, the railway arms closed in 1965 and then I think became a hardware store. So we are the first people to drink down here.
Yeah. Since he shut.
Yeah. So that's quite good. I like that.
So here's to the Joiners Arms.
Yeah, here's to the Joiners
Here's to the
Arms.
Joiners
Hey?
Arms. Hey?
Hey?
Don't smash them.
Yeah, don't smash them. They're worth about £9 grand. Anyway, let's. How's your Capri Sun going down?
That's all right.
You like it?
Yeah.
I saw him putting vodka in it.
I tell you, Joe, this is brilliant. This is the first time we've all been together for 5 months, isn't it?
Yeah.
Since we did that, it was Mapley Tunnel, weren't it?
Yeah.
Mapley Tunnel. I tell you, it's going to my head already. This is Dave. It's only Diet Coke.
It's real grog.
Yeah,
real grog.
Diet Coke. Anyway,
It's straight out the stream.
let's get on with it before we're all pissed. Right. Yeah, let's have a rave.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't even know what that's meant to be. Let's see you dance. I want to see them legs on the dance floor. I'll tell you what, if there's anyone listening upstairs, they'll wonder what the hell's going on down here. Right, let's get on with it. Right then, so what's very interesting here? If you look down here, look to where I'm pointing, there's a channel here. Now this floor, it slopes down. It's like a V shape, if you like, and it's falling this way. Now we're going to go out into the brook shortly. There's some really interesting stuff to see down there, believe me. Now just the other side of here, where this red light is, there's an hole in the wall there. Now what they were doing, because alcohol, of course, you know what it's like when you used to go to them nightclubs when you were younger. You know, it sticks to the floor, don't it, when it's going off, and it does pong a bit, don't it, you know, quite badly. So they had an ideal opportunity here, having the Grey Stew Brook just the other side of this building, because they could wash all this down, get it in the channel and wash it out. You've got the same in the other room. I'm not going to show you that because they've put a wooden floor in there. There's a bit of a gym in there now. But very interesting. Now, for me, you know, we're not certain what's going on here, to be honest. I'm starting to think now, I'm with Indy Andy Jones on this, I think the original floor of the original Carpenter's Arms was lower than this here. Not too much lower, because you couldn't have been too deep, because you've got the water level of the Grey Stew Brook out there. But it'll become clear when we go out there anyway. So without any further ado, let's get his backsides out of here, leave this gentleman at peace upstairs, Mick. Thank you very much, mate, for letting us come down here. Let's go and have a nosy. Come on. Right then, so we're now in the cemetery next to the former railway hotel. And it gets quite interesting here. Now, I've made a video down here before because just down here, we've got the brook. and that really old culvert. Well, it's a culvert this day and age because when this road level was lower, it actually acted. There was actually a really old bridge here that's got a Gothic arch. Now, I wasn't very educated in this area last time I come down here, but now I know a little bit more about it. But we're going to revisit this. There is a reason why we're doing it. Anyway, without any further ado, where's them three gone? Hey, up, these are already in the brook. They're already in the brook, these are. Without any further ado, let's take you down there and go and look at this again and side of this building because it's very interesting, this is. Very interesting. Right, so just before we go and meet the other three, just over there, just wanted to show you, a couple of these graves because, these are fascinating, these are. I mean, it's a bit of a morbid curiosity thing, really, but it makes you wonder because, here lies the body of Thomas Onion, who departed this life on the 1st of December, 1783, aged 50 years old. And that was before the Charnwood Forest Canal was built. They started building that in 1794, I think. Or finished it in 94, I can't quite remember now. I should know, shouldn't I? I've talked enough about it. Yeah, amazing. So, this man was alive when before all this was changed round here. I wonder what he'd think now if he came back. I don't think he'd be too happy. I'll tell you what, it's a fascinating part of the world, this is. He says as he nearly falls in the brook. But I'm just walking up the brook now. Now, just to my left here, we've just been in those cellars. And what a fantastic part of the world this is in northwest Leicestershire. You've got this building, you've got what remains of the Charnwood Forest Railway over there, you've got the delightful old bridge / culvert that we're going to look at shortly, you've got Castle Mound over there. It's an amazing piece of the world if you're into history, I tell you. Amazing. Right then, so if you remember, when we was in the cellars, I was showing you the floors, how they're V-shaped and they were sloping towards this wall here with a hole in the brickwork. And there you go. So when they were swilling the floors down, getting all the old grotty alcohol off the floor because it stinks and it's sticky, they were washing it out into the brook. Now this is the Grey Stew Brook here. Now, I was told last week that when the butchers was here, they were washing blood out of these holes, but I mean, I'm not convinced of that now. I know that the butchers was here. I'll show you a photo of it in a minute. We know there was a butcher's here, but why, why cart, bodies of large animals down onto a lower level and, debowel them and what have you down here? That don't really make sense, as me and Andy talked about earlier, didn't we? But yeah, they were definitely cleaning the cellar floors without doubt, and it was coming out of here into Grey Stew Brook. Alrighty then, so here's your proof that this part of the building did used to be a butcher's. Now, whether they were actually doing any butchering on that level where the cellars are, I really don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me to take livestock down there. It's heavy work going up and down those stairs, isn't it? So you'd imagine that sort of work would have been done up the top, but you never know, they might have been doing it. Now, apparently, there were a few people about in the day that are no longer with us now, I've been told, that when they were kids back in the day, they used to call that brook Stinky Brook. So, maybe there is something in it that they used to wash blood and God knows what in there. But this photograph is actually in the window of the Whitwick Historical Group that are now housed, of course, in the old railway station at Whitwick. Hello to any of you that might be watching this video. It was nice to meet you today, by the way. I think what you do is a credit to your community going down there. Some fantastic stuff in there, and do you know what? I probably will come down one Tuesday night and have a nosy, see what you've got old photo wise. But I didn't have enough time today. I needed to get this video done and get other stuff done. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, nice to meet you all. But yeah, love this photograph, and you can tell it was a butcher's look between that kid and the chap to his left, our right. Between them both, you can see what looks like sausages. Makes you hungry, doesn't it? Right then, so we have been in here and made a video before, but back then I didn't know a lot about this. Right, so this was pointed out to me online many months ago, probably over a year ago now. This here is an old bridge. This is a very old bridge. Now, as you can see, it's a Gothic arch. Well, I think it is anyway. It's certainly an arch and it looks Gothic. Now, of course, the Charnwood Forest Railway Company, or the London and North Western Railway that I think built the Charnwood Forest branch, I think that's right, they extended all this. As you can see, this brickwork is where the road was widened and the footpath above it. The original width of the road would have been the length of this old bridge, which is now acting as a culvert, as you can see. Now, there's a reason I've brought you back down here, because if you cast your minds back to when we was in the cellar, there was a lot of old stonework in there, very old. Some of it quite similar to this, if you look at that. Now, I'm thinking, you know, so the Gothic period, I think, ran from the 12th century to, I think, the 16th century. Now, I'm not going to stand here and say that what you're looking at here, this old bridge, I'm not going to stand here and say that it was built in the 1500s or the 1600s, but I think it's quite safe to say that it is that old. I don't know, I'm no expert on these matters at all. I just love coming and looking at this stuff. But as you can see, the old bridge ends there, and the railway company then built this between 1881 and 1883, when they had to build the road level up. Now, it's a fantastic structure, this is. You know, even without the actual old bridge downstream down there. But it's fantastic, isn't it, chaps? Even Rob can stand up in here. You know. But yeah, what a fantastic, amazing piece of local history this is. Right under his feet in northwest Leicestershire. Hey?
Bunch of rabble.
I know. Well, you are. I ain't. Hey, what are you doing?
I don't know, Bruce.
Hey,
Nice to see you. To see you. Nice.
Right, well, on that bombshell, that concludes today's video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be quite interesting for you. Certainly interesting for us four, anyway. Definitely for him. Yep. And well, he only come along for a Capri Sun, didn't he? Yeah. You know what I mean? No, we've all enjoyed it, and I hope you have as well. You, the viewers and the subscribers, really appreciate it. What do you reckon to that, Ed?
Good.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, I knew you'd like it.
So much history in Whittick, it's unreal.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Rob?
Expect to be out with the lads.
Do you know what's brilliant about this? You know, he wasn't coming today, Rob. He was supposed to be doing some decorating for his mother.
Naked decoration. Shit.
Hey, what's that?
She watches this now. Yeah, anyway, carry on.
Sorry,
Hello, Rob's mum. He's here. He's not gone to get some paint. He's here. He's out with us.
He promises he's coming round tonight and he's going to stay there till midnight. He's told me.
Yeah.
He's going to sort your floor. Anyway, it's not a DIY channel. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you very again at the next one. It's been great having these layabouts about them. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let's get on. I'm starving.
Yeah.
I'm starving, Marvin.
Get the pan on.
Yeah, I'll see you again. Right, let's do it. Let's split.
And there we have it, a classic nosy with our Steve, who's joined us in the last sort of 8 minutes or so. And he said, Paul, I'm surprised you're showing this one. There's a new one up. I haven't had a chance, mate. And he's on a bit of roll. So for the next couple of weeks, you'll be having like new noses. Or if you can't wait for the next HDPP live, go along, of course, to Let's Explore. And you can see them before I show them. It's as simple as that. I can't stop you from watching them before this. So there you go. Nice to know there, Steve. And talking of Mr. Noser, just a reminder, in September, Mr. Noser, Dave, and probably a couple of the other lads, I don't know how many he's going to bring, will be our guests of honour doing a talk at our social night in September. It will have been a year since we've seen Steve, because he came last September. Where does the time go? So that's September, Noser. Come along, meet Steve and the guys, particularly Dave will be there. They're going to bring some of their pictures down. We'll show them and we'll talk about them, and we'll just make a great little, informative evening about it, really. I'm quite looking forward to that as well. So, Steve, we're looking forward to it. Don't forget to sort the photographs out for me, though, matey, all right? Okay, then, now then, we're having a bit of a quandary here at HDPP because we've been doing 6 of the best, and it seems to have been a bit of a stinker. Yeah, a bit of a stinker. Well, last week was so easy. It was so easy. I thought, right, we're going to put a stop to that. We're going to make a difficult one. I think this week we've managed to do that. I should be very surprised if anybody gets 6 tonight. But however, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to whip through the questions one more time, and then we'll do them again, and I'll ask you for the answers. Okay? David Blower, are you paying attention? Okay? So I'm going to go through the questions one more time. Then, after I've been through them this time, I will then start to ask you to put your answers up. But so this is just one more time, just very, very quickly before we go. Okay, so 6 of the best. Don't put your answers up yet. This is the questions we've been asking you. Name the only airport in the British Isles that is served by a steam railway. I changed that because Jeff said I ought to. So, but it doesn't change. It doesn't make any difference on the answer. Question number 2, which American flew a kite in a thunderstorm to prove lightning was electricity? Quite shocking, really. Question number 3, a cross between a horse and a zebra is called a hobra. True or false? Question 4, and this was Guess the Year. When did Take That split? When did the singer Eva Cassidy sadly die of cancer? Prince Charles and Diana divorced, and Alan Shearer went to Newcastle for £15 million. Where am I in Hinckley? Yeah, I'm in Hinckley. You'll find out very, very shortly. And the anagram that I think's been a bit of a stinker. It really has. But having said that, I do have to thank Jeff Wallace as well. But it is a good one. It is a good one. So, okie dokie. So with no further ado and whatnot, we're going to start. So this is where I invite you to put your answers in the chat room, and we'll see if we get it. So the answer for question 1, I asked you to name the only airport in the British Isles that is served by a steam railway. Anybody having a go at that one? Let's see. Jane Brown, she's a clever little clog. Isle of Man, she's come up with correct. Yes, the Isle of Man is the correct answer. It's true. Yes. It's at Ronald's Way, which is near Castletown. So well done if you've got that one right. I think that was a good little question, courtesy of Jeff Wallace, who of course has flew into there many a time, usually on a plane. And Jeff is, congratulations, the girls say, well done, girls, absolutely. As we move to question number 2. Which American flew a kite in a thunderstorm to prove lightning was electricity? You should know his name. Let's just see if anybody gets it right. Oh, Kevin Beasley claims, and I don't know, Jeff, if you're listening, Kevin Beasley said there's one next to Eastleigh as well. No, I don't know. I'll leave that one to you, Jeff. Jane Brown says the answer for this one is Benjamin Franklin. Yeah, Benjamin Franklin, says Pat. And so does Jan Kirby, and does Dennis Perkins. He said, you know what they told him? Oh, go fly a kite. And he did. Question number 3. True or false? A cross between a horse and a zebra is called a hobra. Is that true or is it false now? Oh, look, Kath Denny said, Benjamin Franklin, John's answer. Yeah, Mr. Smugly there, right? Daniel Coburn says, I know this one, Back to the Future. Anyway, here we go. Jane Brown says, true for this one. Jan Kirby, true. Dennis Perkins, true. Daniel Coburn, true. Kath Denny, true. Oh, dear. It's false. I'm sorry, it's false. Can you believe that? I've got it down here as false. It's not, in fact, I should have put the right answer down for that to tell you what it is, but it's certainly not a Hobra. Now, it sounds convincing, I will give you that. Dennis Perkins says, no, the answer is a Zebos. I love it. Cheers, Den. That's not the correct answer, but I know where you're coming from there. So the answer we were looking for was false for that one. Moving on to question 4, we're on to guess the year. Can you give me the correct year when all these events took place? I'll just give it a moment, see if anybody puts that into the chat room as I'm monitoring that. Alan Cropp said to the last question, thought so. Jane Brown comes in with 1996. If you said 1996, you are correct. Mr. Smuggley's got it wrong. Oh, he's put 1995, and Pat Galloway's put 94. No, we're looking for 1996 was the year. So well done. Al Carroll's just got in with the 1996 as well. So that was the... it's all getting all a bit excitable now as we say, where am I in Hinckley? Let's see who has got this right. Because I know, I think Kath claimed to have got it earlier on. Let's see if she's right. Where am I in Hinckley? I'm going to show you the big thing in a minute. Now, Jane Brown says Mansion Street, John Kirby, Mansion Street, John Denny, Mansion Street. It looks like people are getting it right for that one. Yes, it is indeed Mansion Street. Let me just show you, just in case you're not sure where we are. Look, there we are. Look, there's the full picture off Google. That's where we were for Where in Hinckley. Okay, then we're at the big one now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Alan Cropp said Marie knew that. The anagram question, flying like a lavender. And my clue was, we don't do this anymore. And then I did put in as a little bit of a clue, that, look, this place is it's on display and commemorated in Hinckley. It is. Anybody want to have a go? John Denny. No idea. John, Mr. Smuggley's not very smuggly tonight. Kath, get hold of him. Give him some smuggliness. No idea on this, says John. Jan Kirby, not got this. And I have to say, I am a little surprised. I know that right at this very minute now, right at this very moment in time, that Jeff Wallace will have a smile like a Cheshire cat. Okay. Jane Brown said, I've got no idea. It was Tim who worked out the other answers. Dennis Perkins says, clueless I am. And Jan Kirby says, Queen. No. Well, this is a bit like 3, 2, 1. Well, if you rearrange that, flying lacquer lavender, right? Because Dennis Perkins got Carnival Queen Dergfly. Oh, I love you guys. Oh, yeah. It must be good if John didn't get it. Listen, don't play up to his smugness. Don't do that. If you rearrange flying lacquer lavender, and you take into account we don't do this anymore, and if you take into account that I said that this place is commemorated on full display in Hinckley, and I gave you another clue which said we were looking for a place name and where it is, it all adds up to one answer. And do you know what that answer is? Le Grand Crivelli in France, our twin French town. And we don't do it anymore. So we were looking for Le Grand Crivelli in France. That's the answer. That's the anagram. And I'm going to go away. I'm going to open a bottle of Newcastle Brown. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, Sue. Honestly, I'm not. No, I'm going to have a cup of tea in a minute and celebrate me finally, for once, nobody getting the anagram. Jeff, what a cracking anagram. We worked it out between us. Well done, mate. And so there you go. And there's Jan. You see, we said you'd kick yourself, Jan. I went in 2018. I would thought we were twinned with Rowan. No, we're not. Damn it, Ashby is twinned too. Yeah. Yes, Jan said when she was mayor, she went out there. That's Leonance, says Dennis Perkins. You lot are mad. So, Le Grand Crivelli, France, is where the anagram was. And that was a nice one. I must be honest. That's really, really good. Carol Beasley says, I thought it was something to do with town twinning, but couldn't remember the name. Well, there's two. We got Hereford in Germany and Levancouvelle in France. But like I say, they don't really do the town twinning, not like it was 40, 50 years ago, as you will remember. And of course, the town twinning was all brought about by the war and building bridges again, and everyone being friends, blah, blah, blah. So that's where that is. So there we go. So well done. Let's have your scores then, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look in on the scores. And I know you all play pretty fair, and it's good fun on a Sunday night. How many can you claim to have right? I don't think Mr. Smuggley's done very well. Anyway, Dennis Perkins says, well, he's going for 3 tonight. Well done, Den. See, it's having a go. It doesn't matter if you only get 1. It doesn't matter. Have a go. And if you learn along the way, it's a bonus. That's how I look at it. Absolutely. Carol's got 1. Bless you, Carol. I bet you got the best one too. Ah, yes. Kath Dennis says, they don't like us now. John Denny, a smug 2. Well done, John. And 2 for Daniel Coburn as well. And 3 out of 4 for Anna and myself, says Jeff Wallace. Jan Kirby says, we used to go and swim at Hereford from the swimming club for over 10 years. That was a long swim. Jane says 4 for us tonight and 4 for Jan. Well done. So it looks like 3s and 4s. Doesn't look like anyone's going to get over that. So that's been quite good tonight, hasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Well, what a night. What a night. Now, just to remind you, just before we go, like I said, I'm scared to death that nobody will be there Wednesday. Please come along to our social night Wednesday. And Tony York will be doing a great talk. And all about the Civil War, how it affected Hinckley and some of the names that were involved locally as well. That's going to be really interesting. So please come along. That's all I can say. And don't forget also, next month, at the end of next month, we've got our school assembly songs taking place at St Mary's Church on the 28th, just off the top of me, something like that. No, 24th, sorry, the 24th. We'll be doing that. So school assembly bangers, or as I affectionately call it, some of God's greatest hits. We'll be doing that at St Mary's on the 24th. Right, good grief. And before all that, we've got Heritage Open Days coming up, and HDPP will be down in Castle Street with all the pictures and stuff as well. So we're looking forward to that as well. Jan Kirby says, you got us this week, Paul. In fact, I think that actually deserves. Lovely, don't bang your microphone, yes. Jan says, if the AGM is cancelled, we'll be there. Oh, that'd be nice, Jan. Surprise us. Dennis Perkins, see you Wednesday. We need the numbers. Absolutely we do. Alan Crop says, well done, Paul, thank you. And Kath Denny, well done. You've definitely got 2, yes. And Anne says, I booked my bed at Steph's for the assembly thing. Nice one, Anne. Be good to see you and catch up as well. Well, that's just about it for me. I'm going off to make a nice cup of tea and get a soggy biscuit, which incidentally, Mrs. G, I've got to tell you something. What I discovered when I got home tonight, my pack of chocolate biscuits that I store in the fridge, they're all split open just like your mum's had. They're all soggy. Boo hoo hoo hoo. Remember to we'll be back next week. Keep it live, keep it HDPP, and remember to like this video, please. It really helps. Till then, take care. Ta-da. Oh, hello. This is the part of the broadcast we never talk about. We just know that if you hang around, you're going to get a few dad jokes and stuff just before you go to bed. And so hopefully you'll enjoy what we've got here. First of all, thank you to everybody who sent in best wishes to Queen Bee. For those of you that didn't know, she had a tumble, she broke her hip, but she's doing well. She's back home now. Gentlemen, we have rebuilt her. We had the technology. And she's back with us, and hopefully she'll be back with us for our September social night as such. Sue is up there looking after her mum and doing a great job, so well done. Now then, yeah, time for one or two little dad jokes to put you in the mood before you go to bed. Here we go. Are you ready? Here we go. It's a disgrace that gingerbread men are forced to live in houses made of their own flesh. Now, apparently, 5 out of 4 parents struggle with their children's maths homework. Yes. I wanted to tell you my chemistry joke, but I was afraid I'd get the wrong reaction. Get in there. Nearly there. My granddad died because the report said he had type A blood. Unfortunately, it was a type O. And then I walked down a street where the houses were numbered 64k, 128k, 256k, 512k, and 1 megabyte. That was a trip down memory lane. That was a trip down memory lane. Two more. I'm on a roll. What's the difference between a sock and a camera? One takes 5 toes while the other takes photos. I like that one. Finally, a ghost walks into a bar and orders a Jack and Coke. The bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve spirits here." And on that, take care. Good night.